Hello Gemini, welcome into the channel. We're going to be looking into your energies, see what could be helping or hindering you manifesting whatever you want in life. So I'm just going to get on with it and deal the cards. Spirit, what do we have for Gemini? Gemini, for their manifestation. Spirit, what do we have for Gemini manifestations? What does Gemini most need to know for their highest timeline? Okay, we've got Temperance. And we've got the Death card. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. It seems like you're going through a transition period at the moment. Things are moving slowly but surely. I feel like you're trying to, or the advice would be here, to really see the energies from a broader perspective and really look towards how you can most harmonize in your environment at this time. Now, this could be harmonization when it comes to relationships. This could be you harmonizing yourself, okay, figuring out, you know, who you really want to be and what direction you really want to go in, and not letting our lower nature, so that might be parts of us that are codependent, parts of us that are clingy, parts of us that get angry, not letting those versions of ourselves rule the show here. All right, and I feel like slowly but surely is the best way right now, taking those baby steps into a whole new world and into a whole new version of yourself. Okay, so very powerful energies for you here, Gemini. There's definitely alchemization happening for you at a soul level, things that are going to change your entire perception of the world. And just as I say the world shows up. Okay, what else for Gemini? I feel like you're sort of being coaxed onto a new path. I feel like the universe is being as gentle as it can be with you and coaxing you onto this new path and sort of almost tempting you with things that you might be sort of interested in, things you might sort of want to dip your toe into the water of, you know, things you want to try out, things that are intriguing you. I feel like there's a side of your character that you don't want to sort of take with you. You want to sort of cancel out certain energies so that you don't have to experience them again. And I feel like these energies have happened over and over and over again for you. With this World card showing up, I feel like these are lessons that have been repeating for you. But I feel like, hallelujah, you've got into a point where you're realizing how to change the outcome next time, okay? They're giving me that phrase, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. And I think you're realizing, you know, I keep getting the same result in some area of my life. What can I do differently from the center of my being? How can I alchemize a different result next time and get different results? So strong intuition showing up under the Death card with the High Priestess. You may be getting downloads, energetic information joining in with you at this time, Gemini, to try and ease you into this whole new world, I feel like, that's opening up for you. And the Chariot, yeah, so there's going to be some sort of impulse you get or have got, some sort of epiphany, I feel like, that has led you to where you are or will lead you further down the road here with the Chariot card. This is about you really deciding which mindset you want to take forward with you into this new realm of reality. I feel like your feelings could be very important to you at the moment, and I feel like there's almost this sense of not knowing which side of yourself to trust. Your head or your heart or that emotional part of you or the spiritual part of you. And I feel like this Temperance card is just saying, you know, just go with the flow, see how you feel. You know by how you feel if the pathway you've taken is the right one or not. And I feel like you really are going to make big progress very soon in this little pathway you've been taking. I feel like this is a pathway that's not been ongoing, like I said, for quite a long time, but soon enough, with all these little baby steps, okay, you're going to realize that all these little baby steps have actually taken you quite a long way. All right, it's sort of like they build up quickly, those steps, you know, like, I don't know if you've got one of those step apps, the stepometers, whatever they call them, where you've got to do your 10,000 steps a day. Well, you've been making a lot more important headway than you realize, I think, is the message here. We've got the Queen of Wands, we've got the Eight of Cups, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles here. Interesting energy. Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So your soul might really need you to sort of dichotomous energies here. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, who's all about homeliness and safety and valuing herself. Now, it's not like the Queen of Wands doesn't value herself, but she values herself in different ways because she represents fire. So I feel like you're kind of maybe moving away from a more fiery part of your nature, maybe the side of you that wants to go out clubbing and, you know, that this certain specific side of your nature, and you're sort of exchanging it for a more homely, cozy, stable, rooted, grounded, earthly side of your nature. This could be something as simple as you know, you feel like you don't want to drink for a while, and you'd rather go and meditate in your back garden, and you're kind of replacing the time slots. So whereas you would have spent a lot of time maybe doing your hair and makeup or self-grooming or whatever the case may be, now it's almost like you've replaced an old habit with a new earthlier habit. Again, there's no right or wrong with this. This is just me reading your energies for your specific timeline and incarnation that you're on. But I definitely feel like you're focusing on major changes, and you're walking away from old versions of yourself that are no longer giving you that result that you want. Again, major leaps and bounds when you do this. So I feel like you really are on the path to major manifestations. I feel like there's been some awkward knots for you to untangle, but now you're untangling them. I feel like you're going to see the smoothness of reality respond to you again. As big as these energies are up here, I feel like you've handled them in quite a safe and paced way, which I feel like is always a good idea, to try and keep yourself as calm as possible. Also, that calmness leads us to greater heights of intuition here, and really can take us forward in ways that are far more smoother. All right. Okay, we've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the Justice. What else? Gemini. And the Page of Wands. Interesting. Yeah, definitely something new catching your interest. Okay, this could be new types of people you're dealing with as well. You could be sort of seeing the truth in how, you know, a certain group or a certain way of life or a certain person you were dealing with, you're seeing clearly on that energy and how that energy affects you. Again, it's not to demonize anyone. It's not to say that one way's right and the other way's wrong, but simply at this moment in your journey, you're acquiring a lot of balance, Gemini. And I feel like taking the softer, gentler approach, dealing with people who don't make you feel pressured or cajoled in any way, dealing with, you know, even situations like I say, if you feel like you've got to go clubbing with your friends and you've got to put so much effort into the clothes you buy and the things you do, these places and things we do really do affect the overall equation of our lives. I don't feel like you feel like there's any missing out anymore. So, you know, a different side of you may have always felt like, well, I've got to go out on this night out, or I've got to go here and I've got to see these people, or I'll be missing out. I don't feel like you feel like you're missing out anymore. I think you're realizing that actually when we focus on something that is so good and so nourishing for our soul, when we really find enthusiasm for those things that aren't so common or popular or trendy, that can be when we really find a beautiful place to rest and manifest from. So I'm getting a real gentle energy from your reading, Gemini, very gentle, and I feel like these gentle energies are exactly what you need right now. The High Priestess, we've got the Six of Swords. Yeah, again, this energy of knowing where you can find a calmer and more paced and relaxed way of life. You're not wanting those pressures from certain friendships or people. You're wanting really just a harmonious platform. You know, you're wanting to be in a situation that you don't feel like you've got to move on from or transform from. You know, somewhere you can just be for a while. Somewhere you don't have to constantly be thinking about perhaps the needs of others or, you know, the right way of handling those situations. I feel like you just want to be able to be, and to just be around people who just get you. So there isn't that constant management of other people's expectations, needs, desires, drama, whatever the case may be. You'll know how this resonates. Yeah, I feel like you just want like a really smooth road ahead with this Chariot card. You don't want to take the brakes off. You don't want to go from the Knight of Pentacles. You don't want to be cautious and then all of a sudden fly forward on the wrong road. I feel like you're really making sure that you're on the right track at the moment, and that you're operating with the right perspective and the right fuel and with the right people around you. I feel like that's really important for you at the moment. There could be a switch up of like friendship groups, or the way you see people is switching up. you know, and how you see yourself. Again, that's gonna be the inevitable result of how we see ourselves. And you're really sort of transitioning maybe from a more friend-focused lifestyle to a more family-focused lifestyle, something like that, you know. Or this could be, you know, someone who used to hang around with their workmates and keep up with, you know, their extracurricular activities, and now you're realizing, do you know what, I prefer to be at home reading a book, meditating and chilling out. It's something along those lines. Yeah, let me know in the comment box if that resonates for you. The World. Okay, brilliant. We've got the Four of Wands coming out here. Again, there's a sense of achievement. There's a sense of a homeliness with the Four of Wands. It's a sense of being somewhere you actually belong, being around soul group members, being in the world, showing up in the world the way you were always supposed to, and being with that, I'm hearing the word familiar, being with the right soul group, the right familiar, the right family, the right group of people, the right crew, the right tribe, whichever way you wanna see that. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting here. We're focused on stability, and we're focused on home, and we're focusing on, you know, a personal truth here, I feel, with the Four of Wands. You're realizing that, yeah, other people can live their way and it's great for them, but you're realizing that your internal world is your internal world, and you are literally allowed to set your own rules and know yourself. And there's a sense of not looking outside of yourself anymore for who you are or where you belong, but realizing that that internal beacon, that aerial, that signal that you give off dictates who you are and what you attract in. And the more authentic you can be to your true soul's desire, the more that can find its way to you here, and you can find your way to it, you know. Quite, there could be a collision of energies at some point, because you've taken a leap of faith, I feel, in doing things differently, in feeling differently, in thinking differently, in trying to manifest in different ways. And I feel like your bravery is most definitely going to be rewarded. It must be rewarded by the universe, because it is law. It's universal law. What we conjure up, what we've got the faith to conjure up, we will receive. Okay, ask and it shall be given, right? Let's see what this Chariot's telling us. Four of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. Again, you really don't want to make any false moves. You're really trying to harmonize as best you can. There may be a need for you to really pull back energetically and recharge yourself on a deeper level than what you've done before. Okay, self-care, self-healing. Okay, this is also a reminder that just because you're doing spiritual work doesn't mean that you're somehow being punished or you're paying some sort of penance, all right? Because ultimately our spiritual work is self-care. It's not some sort of punishment that takes you out of the 3D world. Oh, you're not allowed to drink anymore. You were naughty. No drinking for you. It's not like that. It's always a sovereign choice for you to, you know, I actually really respect myself and I actually really love myself, and I'm actually going to do the things that I feel like will heal me or exalt me to a higher frequency level. And I know in my divinity that every moment I spend in that state of being, in my sovereign state of being, it ripples out and it flows and it makes life better. We are all one. So one person in alignment does a whole lot of good for everyone they come into contact with. Whereas one person who's out of alignment can do a whole lot of damage to one person they come into contact with, or all the people they come into contact with. It's just the way it works when we live in the realm we live in, all right? Hence the old saying, you know, what goes around comes around. This is more like you wanted to get ahead of that and be like, you know what, my energy's powerful. I am a divine being, and I'm going to make the necessary choices and movements I need to balance myself out, to care for myself, because I know that that self-care is going to move me along the road, right? Nine of Swords here. So there's this sense of, again, you don't want to end up in the same nightmarish scenario you've been in before. There could be, you know, you could feel that you suffer sometimes with bad mental health, and I put that in inverted commas because the mindset is just that. But you may have been in mindsets that have felt to you to be nightmarish, you know. And that's when we could start labeling ourselves, manically labeling ourselves as, well, am I a manic depressant? Am I this? Am I that? You're simply human, okay? And you're reacting to your environment in a way that's perfectly natural and normal, okay? When things happen that aren't our preference, that don't make us feel good, it's perfectly normal and perfectly human to have what they would call a bad mental health reaction from that. And again, there's this sense of searching for tribe, searching for those ones that understand you at a soul level, almost those people you are sort of telepathic with, and that can be taken for granted until you come across people who aren't very telepathic. And then you can really appreciate those ones who do just sort of understand you naturally, and it's so easy to overlook, and yet it's so valuable. We've got the Five of Pentacles coming out. I'm getting a kind of energy like you felt quite alone, like the aloneness has been quite hard for you, feeling like you don't have anyone in your corner perhaps, and really just trying to manage yourself as best you can. Big hug for you, Gemini, if that's how you've been feeling. And the Five of Cups. So yeah, this is a real recovery needed here for you, Gemini. And I feel like you're making the headway. You've made the headway. You've already carved this path, this transformative pathway. You've already seen things clearly. There's some situation that's really forced you to see through a different lens, all right? Forced you to reevaluate, to see something through fresh eyes, something that you could find quite freeing. You know, sometimes we learn one piece of information and it changes how we see all other pieces of information. But I really feel like you want to leave this behind. You want to leave behind feeling alone, feeling like there's no one there when all's said and done, feeling like there's no one who really knows you, you know, who really loves you unconditionally, but definitely headed towards way better energies here. Again, completion, the world, yet again. You've done the hard part, Gemini. You've done the hard part, and I feel like your manifestations are going to really start to take an upward swing. This is all about seeing the self clearly, trusting yourself, trusting that the visions you have, your dreams, the things you want, the things you care about are coming from a divine place and are divinely guided. It's really having faith in that for you, I think, will really help you on your way to a much more beautiful phase of life, creating a much more beautiful reality by thinking forward, by getting ahead of yourself, by meditating before your bad mood hits, or by eating right ahead of time, by really getting ahead of yourself and knowing yourself on a more divine level. These manifestations are going to take a positive angle, all right? But it's based on your positive frequency. So I feel like you're doing quite good work, good and calm, stable, solid work here, Gemini. And here we go, the Hierophant, okay, which to me can be a very tribal card, actually, because it does represent the church or an authority or some sort of personal spiritual path that we're on. And I feel like the Hierophant's always a beautiful card to see when anyone's looking for stability or peace or divine support. I feel like that's always a gorgeous energy to come out and let you know that you're always connected to your support team. You might be on such a low frequency that you can't feel that energy merging in with your current reality, but that's only because you need to raise your frequency just that little bit higher. All right, think good positive thoughts, meditate, drink lots of water, you know, look after yourself, do anything that raises your frequency, and you'll soon start to feel that comfort of the truth of our reality. You'll soon start to feel those source energies reconnect with every cell in your body and make you feel like you are divine again, because you are. There's no way anything can live or exist on this earth without being divine. Magician here, 10 of Cups. So you've still got your eyes on the prize, all right? And as long as you remember that life is supposed to be joyful and life is supposed to be happy, then you're always going to keep yourself on the right path with the right GPS, with the right coding put in your radio, if that makes sense. You want to be honed in energetically so that you can feel the pull of your own soul guiding you along the path. And sometimes things can distract us from that. I feel like your signal's getting clearer. Okay, your signal with your higher self, you're balancing yourself out in a way that the signal's getting clearer. So you'll have little snippets, little daydreams, little, you know, almost what I would call a mental mirage. You'll get the feeling of the people who are waiting for you further on down the road. You'll get the feeling of that business idea lighting you up from the inside. You'll get a little signal, a feeling signal, which lets you know, which way to go, which path to go. We know by how we feel. Okay, let's have a look. What does Gemini need to know? What does Gemini need to know? Ancestors. Ancestor of boundaries. And hunter of vision. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that certain boundaries, certain changes that happened in your life they happened to naturally guide you where you were really supposed to be, rather than carrying on in a situation that clearly wasn't working. You were re-guided, all right? So these endings were actually divine boundaries from you turning down the wrong street, wasting your earth time, or from you getting with the wrong person at the wrong time and missing out on something so much greater, Gemini. All right, something that's going to really make you so much more happier. All right, it's all about that vision. It's all about knowing we can be, do, and have whatever we want, and that whatever we can imagine, we can create. And your imagination here is going to be your biggest key to inspiration. We've got the Dancer of Inspiration and the Shaman of Stars showing up on the bottom of the deck. And this is after a loss, okay? Spirit wants to remind you here that every loss precipitates a gain, all right? Things come and things go, and situations end so that we can be redirected to a higher vibrational timeline. Remember, we're all in this together, and one person on a higher timeline ripples out a lot of beautiful energy for other people. You're doing the right thing, Gemini. I'm going to pull you Sacred Traveler card, okay? But I really am impressed with when I say you're doing the right thing, this calmness you've got. I feel like it's a newfound state of calm that's really coming over you. It's almost like a state of maturity. So I really like feeling that energy here, and you handling things in new, different ways, and you know, maintaining that childlike inspiration even when things aren't going right, all right? But being gentle with yourself, taking it slowly and steadily. Let's see what the Sacred Traveler has to say. One Sacred Traveler card for Gemini, please. Can we have a Sacred Traveler card for our Geminis? Wow, navigating by the stars. Follow your bliss, all right? And remember, I'm really getting the sense for you that you somehow feel like, how do I put this? When certain situations have ended, it almost feels like a punishment. Like, what did I do wrong? Why did that relationship end? Or what did I do wrong? Spirit's wanting me to remind you that, like I say, these things are simply redirection, okay? Redirection onto your true path. And look at this pathway here. This is really beautiful energy of you finding your star path, okay? Following your own soul, your North Star, as they may call it. All right, this is about you following that higher version of you, following those impulses that are really coming from your higher self. All right, that part of you that is eternal and watches everything and constantly connected with you, okay? We're going quite deep into metaphysics here, but definitely follow that bliss. Keep nurturing yourself, keep looking after yourself. These visions you have are perfectly creatable, all right? You are a powerful creator, and there are no wrong turns, Gemini. There are no mistakes, Gemini, even though that part of us all, we've all got that lower animal part of us that feels punished by situations and the way things turn out. This is a reminder that you're not being punished. Your soul is simply becoming bigger, expanding. You're learning, you're doing perfectly well the job you came here to do, which is expand your soul and learn spiritual lessons, which is easy when we say those words, learn spiritual lessons. But when you're actually going through it and you're feeling punished and abandoned and nightmarish, you know, that's when you really have to remember your higher self, and you have to remember you came here for a reason. You didn't come here for heaven on earth. You came here because you knew there'd be contrast, and you knew you could create your own personal heaven on earth. All right, that's what I'm being told to remind you. You came here not for what the humans would tell you is perfection, but to find perfection within the imperfection, to use everything to create the beautiful artwork of your life. And I'll pull you one more. Oh, funny, there are no coincidences. This card just popped out on the back of the Moon Oracle, Moonology Oracle deck. So Hestia is all again about sanctuary. I don't believe in any coincidences. Well, I do. I believe coincidences are cooperative incidences, and that our words are, you know, often used in inverted ways, but that's another video. But yeah, definitely, you know, maintain that beautiful homely energy. Keep the fire lit inside yourself. Keep yourself feeling safe and loved. We've got the energy is gaining momentum. So like I said earlier on in the reading, it may feel like slow progress, but all those baby steps are adding up. And here comes the momentum, okay? Just a little bit of faith, a little bit of peace, a little bit of faith in the divine and faith in yourself, a little bit of knowing that everything's always working out for you. And that energy soon gains momentum, and you soon find yourself interpreting reality differently, experiencing an entirely different reality, especially when you follow your bliss. All right, Gemini, I hope this has really helped. And I hope you like the video. So please hit that like button, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again. Lots of love.